Hi, guys, welcome back to another episode of Invaluable Grace. I was one way and now I'm different. So, formalities out the way. Welcome to our old, current, new subscribers. Please do the right thing by subscribing and liking and clicking on the notification bell so you are notified of all upcoming and new videos and that you're always just in the know with whatever new content has been shared. And please spread the word, of course. Please do note that we are busy recording Brokenness Meets Grace videos. So I know there has been like a 2-week lag. They are definitely coming. So just be on the lookout for any new Brokenness Meets Grace video on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock. The year is, of course, coming to a close. It's drawing to an end. And this video really was motivated by that. I think I've mentioned this before about how during this kind of like peak, there's an urgency. There's a heightened urgency that, were you able to tick off everything off of your to-do list, off of your resolutions list? The year is ending. And what did you do? What did you do with the 12 months that you had? Are there any new habits that you've adopted? Good habits, of course. Were you able to achieve certain goals? And I think, like I said, there's a level of urgency now because a new year and new opportunities and new resolutions come, and you don't want to be carrying over the previous year's resolutions and goals. So I hope that everybody is in a place where they are able to have ticked off at least two, or even one of their resolution, and it just brings me to my message today. And the message I want to drive across is the importance of resourcefulness. The importance of resourcefulness. I think we underestimate how much we can do, with the bare minimum. I'm teaching my nieces, an in-depth Bible study, and I'm taking them through each and every books, and I'm highlighting the importance of, God, the creator, and what he created on which day, and the thought processes anyway, as far as I can gather. I cannot claim to understand or know the mind of God, but just how intentional, just how intrinsic, and just how mind-blowing God's creativity is. Like, God is the ultimate creator. He is such a creative. He's so precise in what he does, and everything that he makes works efficiently. Everything that he creates creates itself. I even tell the beneficiaries that I teach Bible study to, devotion to too, is that God created everything once. He has never had to go back to, the clay, to the dust, everything that he made in those 6 days was done once, one time and forever, because God promotes resourcefulness, right? God promotes recreation, regeneration, right? Everything that he makes has the ability to recreate itself. So he doesn't have to keep creating things over and over again, because everything is built with the ability to recreate, to reproduce, right? And for me, that alone is so mind-boggling, because you could really sit all day and just think of everything in existence that just recreates. And if it doesn't recreate itself, it's there. It hasn't gone away. I mean, the stars, the moon, the sky, that is not something that comes and goes. It's been there for like the whole of existence. But something as beautiful as humanity, we were created with the ability to reproduce, to create new life. And literally the whole population survives because of that process, that creation process, right? Animals, of course, they too recreate and reproduce. Plants, food, everything is built with the understanding that it can reproduce itself. But hear this, not only are we able to reproduce ourselves, but we could make what he has given us to reproduce even better. Right? And now repurposing comes into the place, because you're not only reproducing something again, or you're not only duplicating it, you're making something better out of it, right? So you have the opportunity to have a tree, right? A tree can, recreate itself through its seed, and, the seeds scatter on the ground and another tree grows as a result of that. But so much can come from a tree alone. Not only just trees, but I mean paper, money, oxygen, and everything has the ability to reproduce and recreate itself. Why? Because we were created in the image of the grand creator, right? And the point of this message is in line with, us being able to tick off boxes and stuff. I think we limit ourselves so much. If we fully understood just how creative we are, just how resourceful we are, there would be a lot more lists we tick off in a year, in a month, than we actually allowed ourselves to. I think we are we limit ourselves in our thinking because we think we need so much to actually start to implement. But we carry a plethora of knowledge, a plethora of resourcefulness, right? That our fears inhibit our progress, our fears inhibit our growth. If we can use what we have, and what we have is often 2 hands, eyes, ears, mouth, in most cases, right? Because not everybody is born with all limbs and everything. But in most cases, we have the bare minimum. We have wisdom, we have knowledge, we have understanding. Some of us may be even blessed with resources from a perspective of devices, phones, internet, and we can go far and wide with everything that is at our disposal. But what do we do with those tools? What do we do with what we have? And there's so much we could do, but we limit ourselves because we think it needs to look a certain way. There's so much that me and my family and our team have been able to accomplish this year, not because we have so much money, not because we have so much resources, but God has taught us the ability to be resourceful, the ability to be productive with our hands, with our creativity, with the things we have at home, just to be able to be productive and to show us that we can do it. It's possible. And I think we normalize having excuses. We normalize saying, because I don't have this, I'm not going to do that. Because I don't have this opportunity, I'm not going to start this. But God is saying you have. It's all around you. It's within you. Because I made you to be like me. He created everything from nothing. We have that trait within us. We can create so much from nothing. It blows my mind how my mother can make a meal with such few ingredients at home. We could be in a space where we don't have money, there's no food in the house, but she could make such a delicious meal, right? From nothing, from whatever it is that she can gather from the cupboards, but make it taste like a gourmet dish, like a 5-star cuisine dish. And that is the type of resourcefulness God is expecting from us. What can you create with a piece of paper? What can you create with a piece of cloth? What can you create on your phone? We are so resourceful, but we limit ourselves. So going into next year, if there's stuff that you haven't even ticked off and you're like anxious and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how do I even begin? Start where you are. Start with what you have. Look at what you have. And the thing is, it may not look like the end goal because we all have these visions and these dreams of how we want the end result to look like. But for me, the biggest accomplishment is starting to begin with. And starting looks bumpy. Starting looks, uncoordinated. Starting looks, rough around the edges. But there is so much beauty in just beginning something because you can never go back at that point. You've already started, right? So what do you have in your hands? What can you use with your hands? Because there is so much potential just in you as an individual alone. And then when you come together with people, can you imagine the amount of creativity that can come from that, right? Look at the alphabet. It's a silly thing to compare, but there are only 26 letters in the alphabet. How many languages are spoken in the world? All derived from 26 letters. That is mad, right? Languages, sentences, names, 26 letters, numbers, there's only really 10, but you can count all the way to a trillion with just 10 digits. And that is just how God operates. He takes literally the littlest thing, the most minimal stuff, and he wants us to make them gold because we can. He knows fully well that we are able to make something that is insignificant beautiful, remarkable, productive, effective. We could make it stretch, right? So start thinking like that. Start thinking like your father, your maker, because there is so much you could do if you just stopped limiting limiting yourself. If you look past the limitations, rather, and look to the fact that you are actually prepackaged with every single thing you need in that particular moment, and it's in moving, right, with what you have that attracts the more that you want before you even start. You won't get everything that you want if you're stagnant. It involves a level of motion. It involves a level of, productivity that puts you in the spaces for you to be able to get the stuff that you need, to be where you need to be. Okay, so that is my message to you today. We are children of the ultimate creator, and we have the same trait. What do you have in your hands? You could be holding $1 million business in your hands and you don't even know it because you haven't given yourself the opportunity to be creative enough. So take a leap of faith and start. Do whatever it is that has been placed in your heart for you to do, and be resourceful. Okay, make use of whatever it is that's lying around, use it and start, because so much beauty can come from that. All right. So I hope this message blessed you guys. Go with God. Bye.